secret meetings, they're still sitting, 6 to 8 feet away. And, it's not like they're just going there with no mask or nothing. No, they're still taking precautions. It's just they're like, hey, I need to see my people. I need to be around my people. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. And, as long as they're playing it safe, I mean, you have to go to Walmart at some point. Well, you don't have to, but you have to go to the grocery store at some point. Toilet paper, I would hope. But to just play it safe. And I think, though, June, we'll see what's going to really happen. I think once June hits and if people are making it through, everything's cool because, we got to have football. And training camp starts in July. In August, game preseason, then September the season starts. So we need football. It's number one.
I was watching the NASCAR race. It was the first race back for the season in Darlington, and it was the most bizarre thing not having anybody in the stands.
Was it?
It was. I mean, the race was being run. The commentators were all there. They were talking to the drivers. Everything was. And there was not a person in the stands. And those things are like small towns descending on the racetracks, when a race is going on. It was really bizarre.
I bet the alcohol sales there, I bet they took a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everybody who drinks goes to NASCAR, but 99% of them do. I've been to a NASCAR race, and that's what I went there for, is because I could drink at 7 in the morning and then nobody would judge me for it. Seriously. I was like, yeah, let's go. I'll go to a NASCAR race. I can drink at 7 in the morning. Yeah, okay, let's go. Sounds fun. And it just became like an excuse of why to drink. Oh, NASCAR's on. I don't know. But I don't know. I can't be the only one that has done that or felt that way, but
yeah. I mentioned earlier that we own a house down in Florida. And it's in central Florida, like out in the woods, nowhere. And my brother owns what they call a little fish camp down there. And it's a little bait and tackle shop, little diner, 6 cabins that they rent out, boat wells, that kind of stuff on a lake down there. And people take their RVs and take them to my brother's place and then go up and go fishing on the weekends, like we go up north. And NASCAR down there is like the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they pass the squares around so you can, put your money on who you want to, and the whole deal. And half of the people can tell you like the driver's entire life story, and so I got kind of hooked into it.
And it can be fun. And like I said, it's just the other 99%. But anything can be turned into a drinking thing for me, a drinking activity. I mean, laundry. I used to love to, especially on the weekends. As soon as I woke up 5 in the morning, it didn't matter. Oh, I'm doing laundry. I'm drinking, and whew.
Emptying the dishwasher.
Yeah. I got to load the dishwasher, unload it. I'll wash these by hand. Anything I did, it had alcohol involved in it. And, it's because I was abusing it. No, it's because it had me. It was abusing me. Mm-hmm. And, that's what it does. But I think some of the sports will be fine without fans. Like UFC. They had one of those. And one of the dudes came out and he still acted like there was a crowd. He was like pointing at people and there's like nobody there. That was funny. And I think baseball would be really difficult because the crowd, I think they feed off the crowd, like, yeah, it's a big moment, but the crowd's going crazy and, you can feel that, and football.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, football, it's such a hard sport to, like, even if you're in the stands and you have good seats, you really can't see nothing. I couldn't imagine going to the big house and watching a game. How the hell can you even see anything? Like, that's just silly. I like my football on TV. Anything, in my opinion, that I can watch on TV and go, yeah, that's pretty fun. I think it would be okay. I think football would be okay. Basketball would be okay. Hockey, I love hockey in person. On TV, I just can't do it. I don't know why.
Never been born and raised in the Detroit area, and I've never been a big hockey fan.
Did you have like a hockey?
Totally about football and baseball, but have never got into hockey for some reason.
Did you have a hockey team at your high school?
We did, yeah.
Huh. I don't know. Like, we didn't have that in Southwest Michigan. We didn't have a hockey team. Like, I just whatever, hockey and that for Canada. But no, it was for people in Michigan. And like, if you went to like Kalamazoo or any more north than that, hockey was everywhere. But yeah, we didn't have it in high school. None of the schools did. So it was just something I just thought, But when we go to a K-Wings game or something in Kalamazoo, the minor league, you get tickets cheap. It was something to do, and there was some hitting, and they'd fight, and it was just amazing, But I'm trying to watch it on TV. I'm like, well, when are they going to fight? And they're like, oh, that's only like the minor leagues. They do that. And I'm like, well, then I'll just have to go watch it in person because this is boring. But different strokes for different folks. But all right, so
and that may be kind of a cool thing too, is for folks who are new in recovery. Who, like you said, they associated that with their, they can invite some of their recovery buddies over, go to Alano Club or something like that and watch the game, and not feel like they're missing being there,
Yeah.
And because I do agree with what you said. I think it's really, really important for people, or especially people early in recovery, you're taking stuff off the plate, right?
Yeah.
You're taking all of your behaviors, all of the people, all of the stuff that you used to associate with your addiction. You're making an attempt to take it off the plate. So you need something to replace that with.
Mm-hmm. And a doctor or a psychologist or therapist, I can't remember who it was, but they had told me you need to change everything. And this was like very early, the first time I've heard that. You need to change everything. I'm like, what do you mean everything? And I did change everything. I don't drink when I do laundry. I don't drink when I watch football. I've changed my whole life, And it didn't hit me till, I don't know, probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years into my road to recovery that, that's cool. I'm supposed to not drink when I do laundry. I'm supposed to, be able to watch a football game without drinking, but I need to go out and make those friends, because I would always throw it in their face too. Like, well, I don't hang out with people who drink. I don't hang out at bars. I don't need to change my places I go. Well, yeah, I do. I need to go places. I can't just sit in my house, expect everything to change, and I was talking with somebody about this the other day, that my house was a dungeon of nightmares. How many times I got drunk in the house, those memories were in that house, and I'm just going to sit there and act like, oh yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to a bar. I'm good to go. It didn't hit me, like I said, for a couple of years to realize, oh no. I need to go out and make my friends that don't drink. I need to go out and do things that are maybe not fun. Maybe I hate them, but I need to go out and try different things. I need to experience that and be active. And then once I did that, it helped a lot, for sure. I still had a lot more learning to do, but it's a lifestyle, and we have to learn how to live it. And it's beautiful, I'll tell you that. I mean, I'm only almost a year and a half in, and the things that I've accomplished and the things that I'm doing, and I have a purpose, and it's just, life is great, even on my bad days. And if you talk to my girlfriend, she'll be like, oh no, he's an ass sometimes, but we all have our moments, but it's still, at the end of the day, though, it's such a better life. And, once you start learning how to live it, and some people, it takes 40 years is what it took me, I guess, from the time I almost died to the time when I had my last drink. So, I didn't give up, and that was one thing. And if, you're listening and, you have a friend or family, or maybe you're just having a hard time with it, don't give up. It's not easy, and by not easy, it doesn't mean that you have to go run a 20-mile marathon or anything. I was going to say a mile each day, but but it's not like hard like that. It's just hard because you don't know what to do, and when you don't know what to do, at least for me, and I would have a feeling of uncertainty or doubt, I could always turn to alcohol, and then that feeling went away. It's kind of like you were talking earlier about how it's a disease. Like, if you lose a loved one, you cry. You don't think about, I'm going to cry. No, it's a natural response. In your brain, and this, it it triggers it. You don't have to think about it. And the same thing when you train your brain for so long to, hey, the game's on. Hey, I feel like this. Oh, I'm stressed. You train your brain. You reach for that bottle over and over and over and over. That's a natural response. You're going to drink it. You're going to grab it because it makes you feel better. At least that's what you think. But once it gets to the physical point where, it's taking your life, then, it's almost, it's very scary, and you almost kind of feel like it's too late, and why change now? I'm embarrassed. They're going to really know I'm an alcoholic now. Like I'm turning yellow. My liver has stopped. Mm-hmm. It gets to a bad point a lot quicker than most people would think. I was 35 when all that happened to me, and I still told the doctor I'm not an alcoholic. And the doctors, they don't play. They just look at you and go, yeah, so how long you been an alcoholic? And I was like, I'm not. I just had a good month. I had a good month. He's like, yeah, I'm sure you did, but no, like for real, this damage you've done has been here. So that's when you realize, okay.
Yeah, I remember I went from a physical to, I had started a new job, and back in after I graduated, I went to school to learn how to become a medical assistant after I graduated from high school, and I was working in hospital business offices, and I went for a physical. Back then, I was 38 when I stopped drinking, and way back then, and the nurse came to me and said, your blood work came back and your liver enzymes are way high. If you're drinking, you need to slow down. So there were like red flags for me way back then,
But you probably just thought, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I did.
I always thought that's just something they tell everybody. They're doctors. They also told me to quit smoking. I'm like, whatever. What do they know? I'll quit when I'm damn ready to. Then when you're damn ready to, yep. it kind of I was forced to. And the best thing that ever happened to me was that OWI that I got. And, I think God had something to do with it. My higher power definitely had something to do with it. And it changed my life. It really did. Before I would go to rehabs, and I'd been to like 14 of them. I was never made to go. But I wanted to go. I didn't want to live that life anymore. And it wasn't about dying. It was just like I didn't know what to do. And it was tough. It was a tough road. And, I've seen people at treatment centers, they go back 3, 4 times, 5 times. And I hear other people go, well, how many times are you going to go back? You think they'd learned it by now? Hey, you're going to start taking other people's inventory and start trying to figure out their recovery for them, That's pretty dangerous. Yep. And it's going to take, if it takes them 100 times, that's what it takes them. And some people are like, yeah, but they're just using the system. And, okay. At least
I went through a really interesting experience when I facilitated a group and provided some inpatient services to a group of guys who had been incarcerated for 18 to 24 months for alcohol-related traffic charges. Mm-hmm. It's like my people, right? Yeah. We had a great time in those groups because it was like... But this was 18 years into my recovery, and I tell you what, when I would leave these guys were MDLC ordered to be there for 140 days. And when I would be able to leave and put the key to my car in the ignition and drive home to my house and get what I wanted out of my refrigerator and put what I wanted on and watch what I wanted on TV, I realized I kind of needed that at that point in my recovery, because it really drove home to me that I'm one bad decision away from being one of those guys. Mm-hmm. And the worst day is not worth me sacrificing my freedom. Mm-mm. And if I get arrested again, I'm going to prison for 5 years, at least, because it'll be my 4th DUI. And I was very lucky that my previous offenses happened before they changed the law, and it wasn't considered a felony. But it really drove home to me that You know, when you first, I was one of those people who was ordered to do